It's time for some competitive crashing. 35 cars, 7 teams, but only 3 of them can move on. It's the Junkyard Joust Custom Tournament. Hi everybody, I'm Aaron Yonda. Welcome to the Joust, and here are the competitors for the 6th of the Custom Joust qualifiers. Definitely some interesting teams here. Let's take a closer look. Army of Idiots. They've got a creature from the Black Lagoon, and they've got an interesting lineup. Chris and Kat's Jurassic Attack has it all. Ramps, undercutters, and survival agility. Delivery of Destruction. Looks like a team designed to do exactly that. These things are so huge I couldn't even fit them all in one shot. Jester's Rogue Gallery. A pretty good mix of vehicles across the board for this team. The Magpies are ready to pick apart the competition. Mark's Destroyers, some interesting sculpting going on with these vehicles. And Opaque Brake. They've got a power rocket, a Lamelt, looks like some good survivors. We're gonna head out to the junkyard where Evil Weevil awaits, sponsored by Track Buffer LLC. Round 1, here we go in qualifier 6. Magpies starting us off. They got the roll, number 8, sponsored by Jason's Bitch Boys. Number 8 speeds into position, almost going off the track there. Fast vehicle. Randomized running order is up. Mark's Destroyer sending down the Markinator, sponsored by Tribble's Troublemakers. The Markinator slams into number 8, and man, some chunks of clay flying, and number 8 is on its back, and it looks like Markinator might be out. Delivery of Destruction starting off with their ramp Liftgate, driven by Jenny Gearbox. Liftgate lays into number 8, smashing it against the crates. It bounces back, goes sideways and out. Nobody alive now on the track except for Liftgate, and the ramp is up. Vehicles might be wise to heed that warning. We'll see if Tri-Wreck-A-Bus listens, sponsored by Mark the Music Lover for Chris and Kat's Jurassic Attack. Bit of a slow dismount for Tri-Wreck-A-Bus, but now it's got its own ramp in position. The undercut on the front of the bus basically doing the job. And the first one to take this ramp is gonna be Mobile Army for Army of Idiots, sponsored by PriceX Private Parts. Mobile Army goes off the ramp and tips over sideways, pulled over by all the men on top of it, but not before it hits a 6 and lands sideways. And if it stays like that, that'll be a loss for Army of Idiots. Jester's Rogue Gallery sending down Transgendar first, sponsored by Beaks Busted Barn Finds. The van flies off one ramp, lands on the other ramp, bounces backwards and upside down, still on the track, so not necessarily over yet. Squeezed in between both of those vehicles. Here comes Magma Rocket for Opaque Brake. Oh boy, some serious height there from Magma Rocket, making it all the way up to an 8 before it makes the landing. Wow, look at that. Great recovery. Good start for Opaque Brake. Here comes number 11 to take the ramp next, sponsored by Emo Dingo. Number 11 takes off and plunges down, stabs into Mobile Army, but cannot quite flip it over for a recovery, and it leans against Liftgate. Smasher now, sponsored by Sid from Cybertron. Smasher doesn't take the ramp, goes up on top and kind of hangs out there, right on top of the back of that dyno. Look at this, Transgendar has made a recovery just about. Yeah, that looks pretty promising. An undercutter with a girder on top. Bumper Sandwich, 170 grams, sponsored by Sicken, driven by Snowbird. Smasher gets flung into the crates off the ramp, landing upside down by the crates, hitting a 6 on the way there, almost a 7. And Bumper Sandwich would have gone over with the impact of its own hit, except for that girder protecting it. Dynamite up now, sponsored by Chris and Kat's Casa de Chaos. Dynamite bashes into Bumper Sandwich and does it a favor, pushing it back completely upright again, and then slots in nicely, preparing to go off that jump, I would expect. Super Spy, sponsored by Hendrika's Heavy Hauling. Dynamite gets a gentle push by Super Spy right off the edge of the jump, just about off to safety, stays nice and right side up. Jester's Rogue Gallery now with Asthma Mobile, sponsored by Stump's Tree Farm. Asthma Mobile punches Dynamite completely off the track. It stays level. Super Spy starts to go up, And now we've got a bit of a ramp off the back of Asmomobile set up. Cloaked Cruiser for Opaque Brake, sponsored by G-Zeus. Cloaked Cruiser smacks the Asmomobile and tries to escape. Can't quite do it now, looking a little vulnerable in that position. Number 22, sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. Cloaked Cruiser gets destroyed, thrown all the way over the top of Bumper Sandwich and can't make a recovery, goes upside down. 22, meanwhile, speeds off to the right of the track, sideways. What a hit. Too bad 22 couldn't survive it. Destroyer for Mark's Destroyers, sponsored by Chone. Destroyer takes flight off the back of Asmomobile, bounces all over the place, ends up upside down by one of its teammates, hits a height of 6 as it rockets past Super Spy, sending Super Spy over and out, and then takes itself out. And that'll be a loss for both Army of Idiots and Mark's Destroyers. Hammered Down for the DOD, sponsored by Star Corps Industries, driven by Big Hoss. A huge hit from Hammer Down, and somehow nobody gets eliminated on that hit. Asmomobile pushed a little bit on the ramp, and Hammer Down manages to survive. Actually may have helped Mobile Army get closer to a recovery. Tough to say. T-Rex the Egg Collector, 160 grams for Jurassic Attack. Another massive hit, not even enough to get the legs to deploy for T-Rex. Tri-Recabus is finally starting to climb that ramp on Liftgate. Doesn't look like any dinosaur eggs were damaged. Next up for the idiots, Mean Jeans. Mean Jeans hits the line. It's pretty solid right now. Asmomobile is starting to go sideways. Mean Jeans goes curbside. Mean Jeans will be followed by Mean Green Machine, sponsored by Avery's Reliable Autos. Mean Green Machine finally gets some action, a nice heavy hit right there. Mean Jeans gets thrown off the track and goes upside down. Asmomobile goes upside down as well, perhaps some friendly fire, and T-Rex starting to fall over sideways. Here comes Lamelt for Opaque Brake, sponsored by Milo's Motor Menagerie. Lamelt scoots into position, could be a hazard on the track. Number 33 for the Magpie, sponsored by Reaper EOD. Number 33 hits Lamelt, smacks into the Mean Green Machine and goes upside down. Another loss for the Magpies. Not sure they have a car left alive right now. Mark's Destroyer sending down Crasher, sponsored by Sloss Automotive Sachet and Buffet. Crasher takes off and goes who knows where, flying almost all the way down to the crates. And does it land it? I think it probably did. Yes, flipping over at the very end. You can just see it off camera. Mark's Destroyers needed that recovery. Another big one, Savage Salvage, sponsored by Tim the Bear Neal, driven by Skanky Pete. Salvage absolutely goes flying off Lamelt and goes all the way down to the crates. Smacks a bunch of cars on the way there, but doesn't look like it takes anybody out. Hits a 6 and then lands and goes all the way upside down. The weight of all those cars on the back dragging it into elimination. Next up, Lizosaurus, sponsored by Chorgoth the Infinite Horror. Lamelt proving to be a pretty good jump right here as Lizosaurus piles into T-Rex, slides along the top of that semi-trailer and makes a great recovery over by its teammate. Nice one, Liz. Coming down now, Master Break-In, sponsored by Sean's Toy Room. Master Break-In does not have good luck with Lamelt flipping over, cannot quite pull off a recovery. That'll be a loss for the idiots. Next up for Jesters, Hwandahoy, sponsored by Moo Cow Horse Farm. Ooh, a nasty undercut on Lamelt, and Hwandahoy takes Lamelt down. The undercut on that vehicle proving to be the perfect deterrent for Lamelt. Skykick now, sponsored by Judy Collins. Skykick tries to get under Hwandahoy, can't quite do it, and Hwandahoy settles back in. Last car for the Magpies, number 44. 44 slams into the line and tries to take 2 cars out, only succeeds in taking itself out. Hwandahoy and Skykick escape. Number 44 could still recover. Here comes Crusher, sponsored by Sean and Patrick Hogan. Crusher slams into 44, takes it off the track. It does not make a recovery, and neither does Crusher, flipping over with all that top weight. Looks like all the ramps have been shut down with Mean Green Machine blocking the way. It's crunch time, driven by Large Marge. Crunch time tests the wall and breaks it, knocking Mean Green Machine off, pushing the line of cars down. LaMelt made a recovery? How on earth did that happen? Crunch time punched the front of LaMelt and forced it back over again, went sideways itself. Bit of luck for LaMelt. AJ the Dino Hunter, sponsored by Brendan Walsh. AJ knocks the back of Crunch Time up in the air, and Crunch Time makes a recovery, getting pushed just about all the way off the track. Nice recovery for Crunch Time. Clueless Game up now, sponsored by Jedi. Clueless Game slides into place rather gingerly on the back of AJ the Dino Hunter, and now the back end creature from the Black Lagoon is set up. We've got a ramp in place. Carpin will be the first to try it, sponsored by Farty Marty. Carpin bounces off the ramp, goes over and hits the Junkyard, makes a nice rebound and recovers it, hitting a height of 7 on the way over there. Great job by Carpin, that will be a survive. Screamin' Speedster, final car of the round, sponsored by DYW Production Labs. Screamin' Speedster hits that ramp, and did it survive? I think so. I saw more orange than blue, and it looks good for Screamin' Speedster. That'll be a survive for Opaque Break. Looks like another massacre in this qualifier. We've got to take a couple measurements. Hammered Down looks like a survive below the 45-degree angle. Mobile Army is definitely beyond 45 degrees. And the Markinator also beyond 45. 18 total eliminations in this round. That's over half the field. We are going to lose one team, and some other ones are close. The Magpies were fully eliminated in that round. Mark's Destroyers lost 4. Delivery of Destruction and Jurassic Attack each lost 1, doing good. Army of Idiots lost 4. Rogue Gallery lost 2, and Opaque Break lost 1. Whew, that was a round. Let's do it again. Round 2, here we go. Starting off with Jurassic Attack, who did pretty good last round. They're going to start off with the Tri-Wreck-A-Bus. Getting that ramp set up and get ready for the devastation. Ooh, I spoke too soon. Bumper Sandwich is a ramp breaker, and look at the front of that truck. Just take down the bus, pick it up, throw it off the track, eliminate it. That was impressive. What a ramp buster. LaMelt lines up behind Bumper Sandwich. LaMelt gonna be a hazard now. Transgendar hits LaMelt, bangs into the semi back in front, flips over, and then just about recovers. It is close, still on the track. Crasher leaps off LaMelt, turns over and goes sideways, and this could be it for Mark's Destroyers. And look at that, Transgendar made a recovery off of that hit, thanks to LaMelt. The last vehicle for Army of Idiots lines up, pushes LaMelt up, gets stuck on the fin, and sets up the ramp of Creature. This ought to be interesting. Lizosaurus takes the ramp, does not have good luck this time, landing over sideways, bouncing off one of those army men, and just can't pull it off. That's going to be another elimination for Jurassic Attack. As you might expect, Hammer Down does not have good luck with that ramp, but wow, what a spectacle. Flying up and off, smashing into a level 6, and then flipping over upside down, only damaging itself. Clueless Game now fully up on top of LaMelt. Magma Rocket takes the jump, and I couldn't actually see what happened. It doesn't look like it made a recovery. No. Over, upside down, and done. Hits a 7 on the way there. An impressive leap. Couldn't quite bring it back. That's 4 eliminations in this round so far. Carpin takes the jump and I think made a recovery, bounces into that girder, yep, flips it over, only place it could have landed, and it does it. Nice recovery for Jester's Rogue Gallery. Dynamite hits the ramp, slides off the girder, and makes a fantastic recovery, flipping over. Nice one there. That's how you dismount. Hits a 6 on the way over, and then uses Bumper Sandwich as a landing pad. Crunch Time hits the ramp and really hits the ramp. Holy man, did you see that? Crunch Time arcs all the way up to a height of 8 and then just can't pull off the landing. It is a big rig after all and flips over and done. But it has done something important here. It took the ramp off the track, sacrificed itself, and now Clueless Game is in trouble. Skykick broadsides Clueless Game and it starts to topple. Army of Idiots gotta be careful here. We've had a last minute correction on the name of this car. It's actually Wondahoy. Looks like Wonder, but it's pronounced Wondahoy. Wondahoy makes a nice stab at Skykick there, but Skykick handles it. Almost gets off the track. AJ the Dino Hunter makes a nice hit, and Wondahoy turned over sideways. Skykick makes it off to safety. Clueless Game still in the game. It'll be interesting to see how the big rig handles this thing on the back of AJ. It's Liftgate, and Liftgate plows into the line, but then flips off the track, can't maintain the balance, and goes upside down. Yet another loss in this round. Wondahoy back upright, but the massacre continues. Screamin' Speedster launches off of AJ, and look at this. Speedster uses Creature as an off-ramp to escape and survive the round. What a great recovery there. Some pretty fun stuff happening with this group of vehicles. It looks like we are gonna have 7 losses on the field, and we're gonna lose one more team. There are your 7. Delivery of Destruction sustaining the most damage. Taking a look at the aftermath. Mark's Destroyers exit the competition. Delivery of Destruction down to just 1. Jurassic Attack falls down to 2. Army of Idiots steady at 1. Jester's Rogue Gallery steady at 3. And Opaque Break falls to 3. And now it's halftime for today's halftime show. We are going to experiment with some vehicles that didn't make it out of the qualifiers and see what they're capable of. The Neon Knights had a bus called Red, and we were surprised when it just turned over and flopped sideways, so we're going to run some tests. Test number 1, successful. That is a recovery in a fairly similar situation. The bus definitely has some agility. Test number 2, also successful. Pretty amazing recovery yet again. Here comes test number 3, and oh, it turns over sideways and does not recover. 2 successes, 1 fail. Try number 4, and it sticks in between the safety rail. That is basically a recovery, so we'll count that. And 1 last try, there it is. 5 tries and 4 successes. So while a sideways elimination was not that likely, it certainly was possible. While we've got these cars all lined up, we're gonna run Metal Boy from Not So Disney down and just see what it's capable of. And there it goes sideways, not quite a recovery that time. Let's run it off the ramp from its own team. We're all mad here. And there you go, that was a success. A nice high loft and a recovery. Made it up to a 6, in fact. Right off the back of Alice's head, I think. So that car's certainly able to recover from ramps. And here comes Red from Neon Knights again. Bam, right into Alice's head. Bounces back. Nice recovery there. Stays on the track even. Nice to get to see what those vehicles were capable of. Now we're back to this match though. Round 3, starting off with Transgendar. Jester's Rogue Gallery still got 3 left, and oh no! What happened to the van? It just split apart and broke into pieces. Wow, some of those previous hits must have just rocked it, and now that's just a shambles. Bottom of the car still right side up and on the track, so still alive. And Lamelt takes a shot at what's left of Transgendar and gets underneath, but can't get it off the track. Just sends the windshield flying. AJ the Dino Hunter clears the track, shovels everything off, including Lamelt, who gets flipped upside down and taken out. And look at the bottom of the van, it just flipped over, and it's right side up still. That's a survive. Clueless Game, a nice tender tap on the back of AJ, and slides to a stop with that ramp in place. But here comes Bumper Sandwich, and that ramp-busting front does it again. Clueless Game knocked over sideways and eliminated. Army of Idiots might be done, unless they can get that thing back right side up. Wondahoy cannot get under Bumper Sandwich. Pretty heavy line in front. Bumper Sandwich might be a bit of a wall now. Skykick, a pretty gentle hit on the back of Wondahoy. Goes curbside. Dynamite knocks Skykick off the track. Skykick makes a wonderful recovery, pivoting and landing it. Wondahoy not so much, though still a little bit on the track. That could be turned into a recovery. Carpin makes the save for its team, pushing Wondahoy back upright again, and sneaks underneath Dynamite. Screamin' Speedster gets under both cars on the track. Carpin makes an escape. Dynamite's backing out, trying to get out of there. But it's all gonna be fine. That was the final car of round 3. We had 2 eliminations in this round and half of a vehicle eliminated. The top half of that dream band is gone, but the bottom half will be coming back. And looking at the aftermath, we're gonna lose Army of Idiots in round 3. They made a good go of it, but it ends here for them. Opaque Break loses 1, down to 2. Rogue Gallery steady at 3. Delivery of Destruction steady at 1. Jurassic Attack still at 2. Round 4 will start off with the remnants of Transgendar taking its position down at the bottom of the track. The same rules apply to what remains of this vehicle, and right now Rogue Gallery has the most vehicles left. Skykick smacks into position, and we got 2 lined up. Dynamite tosses Skykick off the track, and Skykick does a great job of pulling it back and getting on the ground, a recovery. Bumper Sandwich shovels both cars off of the track, clears the track completely, but both of them manage to stay upright and in the match. No eliminations yet in this round. Again, Wondahoy hits the wall in the back of Bumper Sandwich and nowhere to go. Screamin' Speedster can't make anything happen, slots in. AJ the Dino Hunter takes advantage of those cars being stuck behind Bumper Sandwich, throws them both up in the air. Speedster hits a 6 on the way over and makes a recovery. Wondahoy not able to pull it out, at least not yet. Carpin goes off the back of Dino Hunter and goes sideways and out. And that was the last car of the round. No other cars coming down. I got bad news for Jesters. They're gonna lose 2 in this round, and they are the only 2 eliminations of the round. But the good news is Jesters is still in the match, as are all the other teams. Taking a look at the aftermath, Jesters Rogue Gallery falls to 1, or really just a half a car. Opaque still at 2 and now in the lead, along with Jurassic Attack, who also have 2, and Delivery of Destruction with that 1. 4 teams left. If we lose one more team, the match is over. Screamin' Speedster will start us off for Opaque Break. Slamming into position down at the end of the track. The randomized running order's up. Dynamite comes down next and takes its position at the end. Getting ready to take a big hit from Bumper Sandwich, who smashes Dynamite completely off the track, then almost goes off the track itself. Dynamite cannot make it back upright. Evil Weevil gets tossed up to a height of 7 from that hit, takes most of the damage. Somehow Speedster barely even affected. Everything just a mess down there now. The bottom part of Transgendar pokes at Bumper Sandwich, can't really do much, but it stays on the track. Skykick pushes Transgendar underneath Bumper Sandwich. Could be a vulnerable position. Final car of the round, AJ the Dinosaur Hunter takes a shot, tries to get some more eliminations, but both cars make recoveries. And Bumper Sandwich almost gets turned over completely, but that girder saves it again. We've got 1 elimination in round 5. It's gonna be Dynamite for Jurassic, but they are still in the match, just down to 1, along with Delivery of Destruction. Opaque and Rogue Gallery steady. We're gonna plow right into round 6. Opaque Break will start us off. They are now firmly in the lead. Screamin' Speedster slots into position. AJ the Dino Hunter with a devastating hit. Screamin' Speedster thrown up into the crates, takes a bad bounce and can't make the recovery. That brings Opaque down to 1. Transgendar pops the back of the Dino Hunter and manages to stay level, but straddling the track, and both vehicles on the track are gonna have to survive this next hit. Big slam from Bumper Sandwich, and it takes Transgendar down, throwing it over and upside down off the track. Look at that, makes it to a 6 before it lands upside down, no recovery. A clutch save by AJ the Dino Hunter. Skykick's gotta survive and does survive. Opaque Break will move on. And what a battle it was in this qualifier. Jester's Rogue Gallery hanging on even with just half a car, trying to make it, but unfortunately it's not gonna happen. We've got our 3 finalists. Opaque Break, Delivery of Destruction, and Jurassic Attack all held on with 1 vehicle apiece. If Delivery of Destruction had also been eliminated in that last round, Jester's would have been moving on. But that's not how it went down, and here are your 3 winners moving on to the semifinals, along with this ever-growing group of teams. Congrats to our winners. Thanks so much to my patrons for making this show possible. If you'd like to also support this show and make sure I can keep doing it, patreon.com/junkyardjoust. Coming up next week, the 3rd main event in the regular Junkyard Joust. That'll be 2 episodes, and then we'll be back to the custom again. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and also subscribe if you're not already, please. See you next time on the Joust.